and welcome back to the Behavioral Health Talks with Dr. TK. I'm your host, the Behavioral Health Queen. Today is a breaking news special. We're diving into the fresh off the press 2026 findings that are shaking up the higher ed landscape. So if you like things like this, definitely follow me. Or if you missed my episodes, you can definitely always go back and listen to them here on Podbean or on my website. They will automatically be linked to those two spaces. Now, while the headlines are shouting out a third year of declining student anxiety, which is a win, don't get me wrong. We're here to look at the hidden crisis. We're talking about the murky middle and the leadership burnout that nobody is discussing in the boardroom. Now, first up, I want to talk about the 2026 data dive. Let's get into the numbers. So, the 2024-2025 Healthy Mind Study, which just wrapped up its analysis of over 84,000 students, shows that moderate to severe depression has dropped by 18%. That is incredible process and progress. But here is the but. Yeah, the but that's reported levels of flourishing and actually declining. So students aren't as depressed, but they aren't thriving either. They are languishing, and in higher ed leadership, we've spent so much time feeding the beast of crisis management that we've forgotten how to design for flourishing. Now, let's talk about the leadership well-being gap. And yes, in talking about that leadership well-being gap, now the conversation is on you. So now let's talk about you, the leaders. New research from 2025 and early 2026 reveals that 81% of faculty and staff believe student mental health is significantly worse than when they started. But here's the gap. We're asking faculty to be first responders without giving them the protective gear. Because isn't bringing in the behavioral health initiative all about the crisis and the response? Yes, it is. But you're not truly training them in ways that truly identify the core factors that they need. So when instructors' communication and emotional labor increase without systemic support, we see a direct drop in student motivation. Why? Because the inconsistencies of the leadership now trickles down and bleeds over into the emotion, thoughts, and feelings of the student because they have to interact with them. Basically, when the leaders burn out, the student checks out as well. So let's talk about the retention paradox. Why does this matter? From the bottom line, because in 2026, every student matters more than ever. With the enrollment cliff no longer a theory but a reality, the cost of losing a single student is at an all high. The old way, sending an automated early alert email when a student misses class, the 2026 way, humane signaling, research studies show that tool-heavy approaches without human follow-up actually increase student disengagement. We need to move from detecting a problem to converting that data into a personal connection. Hopefully, the information I've shared in this small bit of time can be helpful to you guys in leadership and prompt you to reach out to me for more support on your projects and activities within your higher education institution. And as behavioral health leaders working in higher education, I get it. We have the guidelines of HIPAA when we're working in the field. And now, once you cross over into higher education, you're crossing over into FERPA, which is another legal guideline that must be respected as well. So, yes, today's podcast is very short, sweet, and to the point because next week we're going to divvy a little bit longer into specific topics around this area. So, my challenge to you this week, and think about this weekend as you go through and the week going forward, look at your retention software. Is it a tool that supports your team? Or is it just another beast that requires more data entry with no outcome? So, yes, it's time to bridge the gap. It's time to protect your leadership well being so you can protect your students. I'm Dr. Tarina Knight, the Behavioral Health Queen, and thank you for joining me on Behavioral Health Talks. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and as always, never feed the beast. Share the word across social media and your campuses because it is something to take on. Remember, the never feed the beast means that you got some work to work on, some things to improve, some beasts to address. But never fed the beast means you always stayed with your boundaries. You always looked at things from an innovative way and how you can improve them today and not what we've been doing for centuries before and trying to keep that as a tradition. So that is the difference between never feed the beast, never fed the beast. Join me on my website at www.virtuallyrenownedconsultingaccessllc.org where you can find my latest podcast, my latest blog posts, and much more information about the services I offer, as well as booking, access to my books, and a wonderful store of items that you can buy to remind you to never feed the beast and commend you if you have never fed the beast. So yes, until next time, you guys stay great, and it's been wonderful.